Sup, bitches?
How's it going?
Welcome to the Sassy Spiritual Bitches podcast.
Hell yeah, welcome everyone.
It's been a while since I sang one.
Yeah, it has. Been switching it up.
I know.
Oh,
What a day.
I know. Fuck.
Just
Like, yeah, why are we doing this today? We're like,
I
let's
don't
keep
know.
it light and fluffy, and then Randy and I are both like,
But this is real life, folks.
Yeah.
We're not going to hide that from you.
Exactly.
And we're not going to be all like, we're up and fluffy and love and light, because bitches, we ain't. No way.
No.
Oh, it's all good though. It's all good.
Yes.
So if you guys are like going through it right now, we feel you.
Mm-hmm. I was doing so good, and then the equinox rolled around, and I don't really know what happened there.
Seriously, like the week, like I had, well, if you guys remember, I had a pretty shitty Leo season.
Mm-hmm.
I had an excellent fucking Cancer season. But Cancer rising over here, so that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Leo, my actual like sun sign, I'm like, fuck this shit. Well, it was half and half, actually. The first part was bad. The second part wasn't too bad. And now, here we are in Virgo season, and I'm like, I can't life. What is life?
That's so funny. Mine's like the opposite. Cancer season was like when I was fucking on the Hot Mess Express through Cancer season. And then it's been good ever since. I guess we just rolled into Libra season.
We just rolled in, yeah. Like, yesterday? Something like that. I don't know. But you know what? It's kind of funny now that we mention we're in Libra season. I'm very like, what's the right word? Non-committal. And just very like, it'll be what it'll be. I don't want to make any decisions. Like,
oh, that's so funny. I'm kind of, well, this has happened a little while longer.
Sitter.
A little while ago, but I just like cannot. I just let things compound, and then I just take little anxiety naps, and I'm like, I'll just nap this away, and it makes it worse. But you're right. I don't really feel good or bad about it. I'm just like,
very, it is what it is.
Fuck. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
But it's good though.
Yeah. For a couple of weeks there, I was having a real like my anxiety was out of control for a couple weeks there. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm coming out of that now.
Yeah.
And I'm just very like, I'm oddly calm and I'm oddly settled.
Yeah, you're right. I'm oddly calm for the messes I've created for myself. Well, I don't say that. That's really harsh. I am oddly calm for life right now, in general. My own, the collective, everything. But at the same time, like, the calm is good, but at the same time, it makes me confused. I'm like, have I lost the spark? Like, I don't really feel a lot of anything. I'm just like,
just straight up numb.
Kinda.
Yeah. I don't, you know what? I don't think I feel numb. I think I'm just very, like I said, just settled.
That's good.
I'm not.
I will say though, when you say settled, it's like, I think like 6 months ago, like even just like the things that I would stress out about then, like aren't on my radar anymore. Radar? On my radar anymore. On my radar anymore. Like with like, you know, you're like, oh, my abundance or my finances or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. Don't even stress.
And some of the, I don't know if it's like the whole world is shifting because I'm kind of like, it seems like we have bigger fish to fry right now than fucking what's in my bank account. Like,
yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just, you know, that nice balanced Libra energy.
That's true. I'll take it.
Keeping shit in check.
I will take it.
Yeah, me too. Because fuck, no thanks to the Leo season I had, so.
Leo season was good. Except I definitely overindulged a little bit. Not even. That's what Leo's all about. Did it upright. Now I'm recovering.
Yeah.
That's okay though.
I feel like things are going to pick up here right away, though. Like, for the good, at least personally. Like, I feel like I've already started to get really busy. Who am I talking about? I've been busy. Like, I don't think I've had a day off in a month and over a month and a half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I don't think that's going to fall away anytime soon.
Yeah. I feel my definition of busy has changed because I would say I'm still technically busy, but now I send recordings. So it doesn't feel as overwhelming as usual.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, but it's a new kind of overwhelming.
I'm all over the fucking place, and I'm going to be streamlining shit soon, but
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some plans. Got some plans in the background, but you need time to create new things.
Ain't that the truth?
I don't have a lot of it right now, but
me neither. I have like a whole list of I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and then I'm gonna do this, and then this will be this. And I'm like, what's my name? What day is it today?
Yeah, I have no idea. Good question.
So
good, serious questions.
Yeah.
Who am I and what the fuck am I doing here?
And like, why do we care? Why can't we just be?
I know, right? It's so hard though with like everything going on in the world right now. I just like sit to myself every day and I'm like, did I really fucking incarnate for this? Am I really here right now? That's how I feel. Am I really here right now? Is this real life?
And I'm just like, who cares? I realize it's a very apathetic, very probably not the best approach. But I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's not gonna last. This isn't a forever thing.
Yeah.
You know? At least I hope the fuck to Christ it's not. But it's all good.
OMG. Well,
today, folks, we thought we'd keep it light and fluffy after our first 10 minutes of bitching. But we're going to have a little bit of fun today. Today, that just reminded me of that YouTube video. With that lady who was on the news and she's like, not today.
No, have you seen that one? No.
I'll find it and send it to you. Oh my God. She's, I don't know, some crime or whatever. And she's getting interviewed by the reporters and she's like, not today.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh my God. It was so funny. Now I got sidetracked. Oh, we're talking about the spiritual myths out there.
Yes, 100%. And I think it's because like spirituality is on the rise and there is a lot of stuff online. And I think most people are kind of trying to dissect these myths, but there's also a lot of people like putting them out there. And it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. I would say, frustrating to a degree. And to another, I find it comical.
Yes.
But by the way,
but it's both sides of the spectrum too. Like I see people coming out with like their love and light and their bubbles, but then I've also seen people coming out where they're just like,
it's the end of the world, do your shadow work, bah!
Yeah, or they're like, I don't know, they almost like take the busting of spiritual myths to like another extreme where they're just like, everyone's a fake spiritualist and blah, blah, blah. Everyone's blah. And I'm like, everybody needs to calm the fuck down.
Everybody's fake.
Yeah. Like I've seen it both. It's like there's just intensity on either side of the spectrum and it's honestly all stupid. Like,
and you know what? Ask questions, folks. Just ask questions. Don't take what we have to say as gospel. This is just our opinions on these said spiritual myths. And I'm sure some of them we're going to have unpopular it's going to be another episode of unpopular spiritual opinions with Randy and Kayla.
Not always. I think there might be a couple that are triggering, but most of them, it's like most of the things, these are things out of our personal experience. It's not like we are like, oh, we're the experts. It's just like things that we as two people who literally are in the spiritual
wink, nudge, nudge.
Air quotation marks, because what is that even defined as? World 24/7, 365. And it's just like people are kind of like, they come at you and they're like, oh, like, and you're like, no, I don't experience that.
No.
You want to?
We're going to keep it light though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sure. Okay, so myth number One.
And if you didn't already know this one, based on us, we'd be surprised.
Yeah. Spiritual people are always happy and peaceful. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. That is false, my friends.
And I mean, if you follow us, you know that's true.
Oh, clearly.
But something I've learned that's like near and dear to me is like people are like, oh, like you shouldn't feel rage or anger. And like this is one of my favorite things. It's like if people never got angry, the world would never change. Like women would still not have the right to vote. We'd still be property of our husbands. You know, men would still be expected to carry the entire weight of the bringing home money, and they wouldn't be allowed to bond with their children, and women would be always expected to be at home with their kids. Like if people didn't get angry, nothing would ever change.
Well, but here's the thing. If we didn't have it, then nothing would matter. You need the polarity.
Yeah,
you need the duality in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the law of duality exists.
And I also think like sadness or frustration is like an indicator that something needs to be shifted. Yeah. And like that
there's blocks or there's resistance or
you're not happy doing what you're doing, and you should look at other things. So I think I've said it before, but when I first started my journey with gratitude, I was doing gratitude incorrectly. But I was like, you know, I hated my job and I was underappreciated and I was frustrated and depressed and anxious and I hated everything about going there. And then it's like, I was like, you know, maybe I got to practice gratitude because they're like, ooh, gratitude will set you free. And I was just like, I'm glad that I'm alive. At least I have a job. And it stopped me from like leaving sooner because I was just like gratituding myself out of like the real emotions I was feeling. And like those shitty emotions are ultimately what set me free.
Oh, totally. Do you ever realize how much what would be the right word be, invalidate our own emotions? And we're like literally conditioned. Like think about it. How many times are you like, I don't like this with dinner? And your parents are like, there's starving kids in Africa. You eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that teach you? It teaches you that you don't have your own mind and that you're not allowed to have your own opinion.
Yeah.
Low key, right? We recognize this as we get older, but at the moment it's like, ooh, I better eat this because, you know, I should be fucking grateful. And you should. Exactly. Like, I mean, you should be. You should be grateful for that lesson, but at the same time, it doesn't mean your opinion isn't valid.
Exactly. And I like feel like I had so much of that in my life. My God. Just like, you know, don't be so angry and why are you acting like this? And yeah, like I hated meat even when I was a kid. And I was like, I don't want to eat this. You have to eat it. It's wasteful.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So yeah, then just like everything that you feel gets like shoved down. And like, man, is it difficult to undo all of that programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck, like.
Absolutely. All right. Shall we?
Yes.
Push on to myth number 2.
Yes. So myth number 2 is like the books or seminars or other like gurus will teach you spirituality or teach you your gifts or teach you what you need to know, because ultimately your spirit is unique to you and it lies within. All of it can be found within.
Yeah. You literally need nothing.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like you're spiritual, you say, I'm spiritual. Ta-da!
Yeah, exactly.
That's not to say that books and, you know, having conversations with others and all of those things aren't valid, because they are. And, you know, that's how you form your own ideas, because it's like, oh, you know, I like this, but, you know, I feel like that's not entirely true for me. So what is true for me? It's a good way of getting your questions and like diving in if you need a jumping off point.
Right. And expanding, like books and courses and things have really helped my expansion. But there's a couple of messages that I hear in the Akashic records all the time is like the only way that you can manifest abundance in the spiritual world or in life in general is if you follow your own authentic path, which is always going to be a little bit different than everyone else's. We all have a unique path or a unique journey to walk, and you're not going to find it in someone else's class. It can be a great starting point, you know, to start that and open your mind and open yourself to new things or get something in your tool belt, but you will never be able to recreate that person's success or journey or knowledge because that was their unique and specific journey.
Right.
So we must find our own, and obviously it's going to be found from within.
Totally. But yeah, I as someone who likes to take things and someone who likes to research things, and I teach things as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a teacher, I like to tell people, look, not all of the stuff that I'm going to teach you is going to ring true for you.
Right.
Right? It's not all going to be, you might just not feel some of it, and that's okay. But I can teach you the foundational basics, and you take what works for you and you leave what doesn't, and then you'll expand and grow and change it. Because I think about when I first learned Reiki or my crystal healing, it has evolved into something completely different.
Yeah. And every time it evolves, it's like you get a new level of success, right? Because it's more of you and your spirit coming out. So like, what does being spiritual really mean? It means connected to the spirit within, which is connected to the all that is, right? The source. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, I say this just as a default all the time to my clients. I'm like, yeah, your spiritual journey. And I feel like instantly when you say that, you think I instantly think, like with the dogma and stuff out there, it's like, oh, I have to be this guru. I have to be a meditation coach, a yoga coach. I have to become a reader. But when I'm saying it, I actually just mean like following the spirit within. And you, for me, or what I've been told in the Akashic record, is like the best way to figure out what that is like listening to your spirit when it's trying to talk to you. Like, I'm fucking depressed. I hate this. I don't want to be here. That's your spirit being like, oh my God, this place sucks and this isn't me and I don't want to be here. And then when you get all amped up and excited and there's like adrenaline and goosebumps and like uplifting, that's your soul being like, hello, I am here. This is me. We belong here. And you start like creating more of those feelings and following those tracks. And it's always way scarier to go that way than it is to just like keep doing what you're doing that's making you depressed. But it's like, that's what I mean when I say spiritual journey. Like, listen to that fucking thing and do more of what makes it happy. Like,
yeah, totally. Or if you go by my business name, find your authentic truth within. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. My husband makes fun of that all the time.
Oh my God.
Well, not makes fun of, but he'll bring the title of my business into like conversation. He'll be like, do you mean like finding your authentic truth within? And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, if I had known, I wouldn't have named it like this, because you're driving me crazy. God. I mean, it's a compliment, right? It means it, it works, and, he likes it, and, it really does tick a lot of boxes. But at the same time, I'm like, good God, man, you're annoying.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
As you can see, I'm always happy and peaceful.
Right. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, that's one thing and that's one pet peeve of mine actually, is when people are like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to become a medium. I was like, fuck, you're always a medium. Okay. It's what learning to trust yourself. Like, when people say that, it just like irks me.
Yeah. I got asked one time if I would teach people how to channel, and I'm like, you already know how to do that. Why do I have to teach you?
Right. Totally.
I can give you tips on how to trust yourself.
Yeah, but that's basically the bottom line.
That's if you go back and listen to our channeling episode, you'll kind of get the gist of that. Yeah, it's funny. I love it though. Okay. Myth number 3. Spirituality has rules. Incorrect. Yeah. That is very incorrect. People like, or at least this is my own personal opinion, because I know there seems to be 2 major camps on this one. It's either, there's fucking rules and you're gonna, follow them to a T, or there's the train of thought that I subscribe to, and I think Kayla does too, is that no, there isn't any rules. Because again, if you're tuned in to yourself, even if let's say there was a rule, like on Wednesdays you had to dance naked under the moon and, hop on one foot while, I don't know, petting your dog, whatever. Maybe you're allergic to dogs. Maybe it's like, fuck, it's cold outside. I don't want to have no clothes on. It would be, not everything's going to resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
So why say there's a rule? You're just going to feel bad about yourself and like, oh, I'm failing and all of that. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Or even like, I see people put pressure on themselves to like do something for the full moon or do something for the new moon or do something for whatever. And it's like, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Like, I love the equinoxes and the solstices. They are like major days for me. I love them. But the fall like equinox, I was feeling really, really good leading into it. And then I got like terrible sinus pressure and headaches. And I like literally couldn't do anything. And I was like, well, whatever. This is what we're doing, I guess. Like,
yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you put pressure on yourself and you start to feel that like anxiety and those negative feelings again. And like, we just go back to point 2, like, listen to the spirit or the truth within. Like,
yeah,
if you're not vibing it, you're not vibing it. Like,
no. And you know what? You're not a bad spiritual person if you don't don't do everything for every single full moon, or you don't, write gratitude every single day, or you don't, like, sure, routine's great. And if it makes you feel good, fuck yeah. But you don't have to. Like, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's always, I ask my clients that all the time. I'm like, what's the worst that can happen?
So true.
Nothing.
Exactly.
That spoiler alert.
Exactly.
Nothing.
And like, spirituality just doesn't have rules. Like, you've heard everyone's like awakening stories or when they snap into it, and it's just like, it's all different. Like, I probably would have been blissfully unaware until I started having weird dreams. And then it wasn't like the dream was like, you have to do this. They were just like, hello, there needs to be some more awareness here. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, there's no rules. And I also think people have to like, sometimes, I think lots of people want to, but I also feel that there's like this pressure that if you're going to be a spiritual person, you have to suddenly like renounce your life as a business person or whatever job you have. And then you just like become a medium of some kind or a spiritual teacher of some
queen or king.
And it's like, you can, if you don't want to do that, like, you don't have to. Like, you can still go on into your life and stay at your job and stay and do this. Like, you don't have to suddenly only be focused on that woo-woo world. Like,
yeah, which totally vibes into or slides into myth number 4.
Yes.
Which is you have to act and look a certain way.
Exactly.
Good God. Have you seen us?
Yeah, exactly.
Just 9 times out of 10, I'll be walking around with no fucking makeup, my hair all over the fucking place, with frumpy clothing on, like wiping Cheetos off my hands. Like, that. Let's be honest. It is what it is. But I think people hear, like a karma clearer, and they're like, oh, I picture this, flowy dresses and like, long tresses and lots of bangles and, whatever. And totally. I'm just like.
And I'm a little bit like edgy, I would say. And like, I kind of, well, if you guys
ripped
have heard.
Jeans and an oversized band t-shirt.
Yeah, like, come on, love it. So I struggled with this at the beginning, especially when like you read The Secret and they're like, they're like, don't have dark, depressing paintings around and like you have to surround yourself with things you want. And like, I'm fucking sorry, but I love dark, depressing things. I don't know why. It's just like, it's so like moving, And I like those dark poetry and dark imagery. Like, it's bad. I don't know. I think it's cool.
It's badass.
And it doesn't mean that I'm like, I still work in honor of the light and I still work in the highest good. And everyone's like, well, this ain't the highest good. And it's like, it's beautiful. Like, who fucking cares? Yeah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Buck.
It invokes emotion, therefore.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
So it definitely does not have to look, be, or act a certain way. Like, and also like, we curse like fucking sailors over here.
Could you fucking imagine? I swear to, like, our title even has the word bitch in it.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, Sassy Spiritual Bitches. That can't be right. Spiritual people don't swear.
I literally believe that anything that polices you is meant to like contain your spirit. Like anything that gives you a restriction or I should be or I gotta do this is like an oppressive thing.
Yes.
Like, and then anything that just lets you like feel into it and show up for yourself, I think is what life's about.
Yeah.
It's really hard to undo that belief, but you think about all the things that give you rules to follow. How much fun is it to participate in that? Government, really organized religion.
Mm-hmm. But I feel, and it's like, yes, we have laws, and some of them are very good laws. You know, like, don't murder people. But I feel that if everyone actually acted from a place of love and their truth, no one would actually commit murder or theft or any of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they wouldn't need to.
Yeah,
you know.
Much. So spiritual myth number 5 is that there's some sort of point or end goal or like pinnacle of where you get there and you're officially spiritual and you know everything and you're healed and everything's good to go.
That's my favorite. You're healed.
Yeah.
Bitch, no you ain't.
Yeah.
No one's ever officially fully healed. You can heal some things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always going to be little shit popping up and everywhere. And like, what would that even mean? Like if I said, tell me what it means like when you've reached the pinnacle of spirituality.
Like I don't really have a fucking clue. I don't even know where to start with that. What would be the measurement of the end goal?
I picture Tibetan monks who are like silent and just meditate for like 13, 14 hours a day and don't eat.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to, I mean, I love it, but I don't want to be at that level.
Nope.
You know?
You know what? I've done readings for people that were monks in a past life. It actually isn't really that spiritual. You actually get I'm not hating on monks. I think they're really beautiful, but I'm like, yeah, it's not really that good of a thing to like renounce your voice and your fun and your joy. Some people probably do it for the right reasons, but there are some people that did it for the wrong reasons and now they have bad karma.
Yeah, totally.
So there's no goal, there's no end point. It's like the ever-loving journey of discovering more. And like if you ever follow Dolores Cannon, who I like know I talk about a lot, but she's the tits right now because everything she talked about is happening. So I'm like, fuck yeah. So anyway, she talks about like teaspoons. Like the universe will only give you information that you can like dissect at one time. And then you're like, hello, there couldn't be possibly anything else I need to learn. And then it's like, hold my beer because here's the next thing.
Just hold my beer.
Yeah. And there's always going to be more to learn. Like I just really do not think that you'll ever fully learn everything or heal everything. And I even think like you can see in the Akashic records, like life well, not really. You can sort of see life on other planets and what they do. Some of the planets, all they do there is like seek wisdom. And they're already 10,000 times smarter and wiser than we'll ever be anytime soon. So it's like, what the fuck are they learning? Like, what are they learning? Because it's got to be like way beyond us. And it's like, that's their job is to just learn shit. So we ain't ever going to know.
No. And I don't want to know everything. I enjoy learning things about myself, or I enjoy finding new little rabbit holes, or being like, oh my God, I got this in a meditation. Did you know this? You know what I mean? Like, I love that journey.
Yeah, I don't want to ever be like complacent where I don't learn anymore, but I can't stop, won't stop. I'm from one of the planets that all they did was like meditate and research the depths of the universe. So I have a problem here. I can't shut my brain off. And I seen like a reel the other day, and it was like this lady, she's like, ADD, curiosity gets me off task all the time. And it's like, what does this person do? And how did they get here? That's me all day, every day. I'm just like, what is this? Or I watch a movie and I'm like, what is this actor doing? Who wrote this? Who made this? And then I like sit at home and I like get this information. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is true. And I'll Google it. I'm like, okay, like, stop.
Yeah, but do you dissect it? I'm like, oh, based on a true story. What's the true story?
Oh, yeah.
And you read the true story and I'm like, this is only half the fucking story. Mm-hmm. And then I go kind of on a little, ooh, what now?
Yeah, I'm always like diving down those things. And I think I said it before, but I'm someone who like I can't stop trying to figure things out. But nothing ever becomes like a solved mystery until I can like verify it to myself that that is true or untrue. It's just like knowledge for the sake of knowledge, I guess.
Which is cool in itself.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always need an answer.
No, exactly.
That one's not down here, but I feel it needs to be an honorable mention that you don't need to know everything.
Yes.
You know, like sometimes spirituality is straight up just faith and not an outcome.
Yes, totally.
It's a little extra
Mm-hmm.
something for you there.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree with that completely.
Wholeheartedly, as it were. Who even talks like that?
I don't know, you.
As it were.
As it were.
That's like clearly one of my guides.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I don't talk like that.
That's so funny.
Okay. So,
myth number 6.
There are levels of spirituality.
And that one level is better than the other or advanced than the other. Like, there is no such thing.
No.
And if you meet people like that, like, just shut it down. Don't even participate, because it's honestly annoying as hell. And like, the people that are out there, and this isn't people out there that are dissecting spirituality and telling you you're not healed and blah, 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 blah. Like, they're basically choosing that based on their ego too.
Yeah.
They're just using it in a different way. So if anyone ever acts like they know everything and they're the spiritual guru and they have everything and they're better than you because you're only at step 1 out of step 12, it's like, that's not true.
No.
Like, I learned that the hard way. And I think I shared that story before. Like, when I first started doing Akashic records, I was like, wow, I'm really doing this. I know so much. And then it's like, I was the first person in my family and friend group to really take it to a deeper depth. And I just thought I was on top of the world. And then I was reading other people's Akashic records, you guys. I was looking at their gifts. I was looking at what they were doing in their past lives. And I was like, Jesus fuck, everyone's so cool. Everyone has some sort of gift. And I remember at the beginning being like, who am I to do this? And I went kind of down a poor me phase too. I was like, oh my God, I'm not nearly as cool as any of these people. And it's like, no, I'm telling you, we are all insanely gifted and we have all done insanely amazing things. And it's like, do not get stuck in the ego trap of comparison, because we've all done something amazing. I fucking guarantee it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's like, oh, I could never do that, or who am I, or, my life isn't special or whatever. Check yourself. It's probably your bad karma.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Okay. Next on the list, myth number 7.
Yeah. Everyone isn't spiritual. False. Pretty much, as far as I know, everyone has a soul.
Yeah.
So anyone can do this. Anyone can go inwards, find their gifts, find their truth, show up.
Even if they don't call themselves spiritual.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kayla says, everyone has a soul.
And it's like, what you do to follow your soul is different. It might not be diving into the consciousness and evolution and enlightenment and whatever, and raising your vibration. It might not be things like that. Sometimes the most spiritual people that I know just commune with nature on a daily basis.
Oh yeah.
And are connected to the trees or the sky, or they just spread positivity by who they are, or they just, some people also are spiritual and they just recluse away from the world, and it's subjective, because our truth and our spirit knows what it knows, and it is what it is. It's going to look different for everyone.
Totally.
And I feel that's such a trap. Mm-hmm. Right now,
that's a big ego trap.
Yeah, so many people are waking up and trying to develop their gifts, and then they think they have to fit into some certain box. I have to study the Akashic records. I'm going to channel. I'm going to be a medium. I'm going to talk to spirit. I'm going to help people with their loved ones crossing over. It's maybe you're here to pave a new way of being spiritual.
Yeah. Maybe being spiritual is just knowing yourself.
Exactly.
Ooh, if I had a mic, I'd drop it.
I love it. Yes.
Boom.
Yes, I agree. It's just like, it's just connecting within and like finding your truth. And like truth is fucking subjective. Like what I believe and what you believe to be true are probably going to be different. And there's nothing wrong with that.
100%. How many times am I going to say that this fucking 100%?
100%. 100%.
My God.
All right.
I'm annoying myself. I apologize.
I feel like we're both kind of, I'm spaced out today. I don't know about you.
I'm just like I said, I'm just very like, yeah, just very calm. But like, okay, I don't know about you. We'll take a little pause here and I'll go on a rant. But the last week, I have had so many issues grounding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I can't. I try and I can't. So here's a prime example. I hate being barefoot. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Drives me nuts. Has been like that my whole life. This past year, fuck. This past week, all I want to do is be barefoot and like have my feet on the ground. Like even when I sit at my desk, my feet are usually like up on rungs of the back of the desk. No, they have to be firmly planted on the floor. Like I just feel, but today is the first day in a long time, probably like a week to 2 weeks, where I actually feel like it's working.
Yeah, I've been having trouble grounding for a while. So that is not a new thing for me, but I just feel spaced out. But I guess I was in the Akashic Records before you came, so.
That's true.
That would explain it.
And
but like I said, it's just like the world around me right now, not my life, but like the external world is so like mind-boggling to me right now.
Discombobulating.
Yeah. That I can't, and maybe this is like, I should be clinically diagnosed. I don't know. I can't tell dream from reality right now. Like, I'm just like, I'm like, am I really alive? Right? Like, I don't know if I'm alive. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like,
do you want me to pinch you?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to hear her scream? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, I'm so confused. And I spend so much time like in the Akashic Record and looking at people's past lives. And it's just like, you can see how the lines of reality can become blurred.
Totally.
And it's because there's so much change going on around us that I don't recognize the world I once lived in. So now I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Like,
yeah. But I also feel like timelines are like shifting and going up and down so fast and like all over the place that there's just no, like, there's nowhere to, what's the right word? It's like, they're showing me a vibrating guitar string, you know, how it like, like it's constantly reverberating. That's what I feel like the timelines are doing. And there's just, it's just constant.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of like, you know?
And I heard it described to somebody once when I was doing a reading that like right now it's like a chess game is going on. It's like someone makes a move and it shifts the collective. Another person makes a move, it shifts the collective. And then we're all trying to like keep up with like where we're at and what's going to come next. But it's impossible because it's literally like a chess game.
But even the normies though are like feeling things and they don't understand.
Because they haven't had to feel that before.
Well, and they just don't understand that it's like, that we are all connected. And therefore, when the collective consciousness feels something, we get affected by it.
Yeah.
So they're just, but I get, you know, texts. And I got a text this morning from one of my clients. And she's like, my head's so foggy. I don't understand. Can you fit me in? And she just wanted me to do a quick little distance session to help me clear her head. Which I did. But I'm just like, oh, this isn't even yours, you know?
Yeah. It is hard. And like, I feel people feel really out of control right now. So they just like will try to control anything they possibly can. And it's just creating so much more havoc in their life. Like,
yeah, the harder you hold on to something and fight it, then the more trouble there seems to be.
Yeah. And the more frustration that you feel because it's like, you can't control things.
No.
So like, let's stop.
Yeah.
And I feel the saddest thing is that if people would have taken the time to connect to their spirit and their truth, like we're talking about, what is there to fear, really?
Nothing.
Nothing. Like, I I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to die. But like, a part of me kind of can't wait to die. Because not in a way that I would make it happen any sooner than it has to, but like, I want to remember everything and know what I am and like be with my people and have the no pressure of being working, like trying to be a human, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, death is like freedom, right? Mm-hmm. And even before I believed in this stuff, like we all know that matter cannot be created or destroyed, it can only change forms. So like, I know I can't be destroyed. Like, and even like there was a time in my life where I made peace with, I was just gonna, my energy, my like flesh and bones was just gonna go into the earth and I would give back to the planet that gave to me this whole time. And to me, that was enough to be like, that's good enough. Like, shit, this lady kept me alive for like however long. I will go back into the earth. And I was like, that's still meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And then I had experiences with ghosts. And I was like, well, this doesn't fucking add up now, does it?
Well, souls, you know, it's all good.
Yeah, and I was like, that's one thing I could never explain away. So I was like, I must look deeper. So, yeah.
I get it, because really, here comes an unpopular opinion. I mean, the human race as it stands right now, the way that we are living our lives, well, most of us, there's a slim 1% of us who aren't doing this, and more joining us every day. But the human race is a slave race.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. They call it the rat race for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Little rats in their little laboratory, little mazes.
Or like, yeah, and like we live in a capitalist society. We do, anyway, not the whole world, but it's even worse if you don't live in a capitalist society. There's no other great alternative right now, unless you're like one of the tribal people that live in like their own, like, or the, you know, the indigenous cultures.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, which they have figured out, which is why they're constantly being colonized, by the way. And then, like, capitalism, and it's not even a conspiracy. It is the pyramid structure of society, where the top 1 or 10 or what is 1%, I think now, it's like literally 1% of people is reaping all of the rewards. And the only reason that they're able to do that is because of everyone below them. The cogs in the machine keep working and we keep getting rich, and they're not doing anything. We're fucking carrying them. That is literally, you know, what capitalism is. And I learned that in university. That is not a made-up thing. This was something we studied. It was a textbook definition in sociology.
Yeah.
Like, and people are just like, yeah, this is great. I'm like, is it though? Is it really that great? Because we are all the bottom people supporting the upper people. So if you ever wondered why there isn't alternative solutions, it's not because they don't exist. It's because the people that rule the world will refuse to put any work in. Like, they have what they want. Mm-hmm. It's just like, and this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is common knowledge if you pay attention.
And literally taught in university.
Yeah, literally taught in university.
Yeah.
Not conspiracy theorist. I received credit for this. like, I'm serious.
I paid money.
Yes.
To learn this fact.
Yes. So, I don't know. It's just the Hot Mess Express.
I can't wait to get our merch, Hot Mess Express.
We should look into that.
We really should.
We've just been, so we have all these like things we know we need to do, but we've both gotten so busy that it's like, we can't, like even this recording session today, I'll be there at 1. Okay, 1:30. Oh, I'll see you at 2.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm just finishing up some paperwork. Oh, something else came up. Oh, wait, it'll just be a minute. Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, when is there the time? But we're gonna figure it out. Don't you worry.
Yes.
We're gonna figure it out.
It'll be good.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good thing that we're busy.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a great thing.
But if anybody knows anything about merch lines and starting merch lines and shit like that, give us a holler.
Yeah.
You can email us.
We are looking to collaborate with you, so let us know.
Let us know.
Yes.
Send us an email or
if you know like a website that like is good to work with. If you don't personally know, but you know the place to go.
Or you know like a few good graphic designers, send them our way. We're cheap. Because we
we got to message Christy.
Yes, we do.
She knows something about something.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, Christy, give us a holler on Patreon.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I read her gift, and it's pretty aligned, so we should probably use her.
Christy,
what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll hit you up on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, where were we?
I don't even know what number on 8.
I think we're on 8.
All right. Spiritual myth number 8.
8.
You have to practice meditation and ceremony, and you must do these hippy dippy things to be spiritual.
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like we've already kind of dissected that one.
Well, I think we kind of blew all these out of the water when we were like, spirituality has no rules.
Yeah,
Boom.
Pretty much. We should have put that as the last one.
Yeah, probably. Surprise! But no, you guys. No, you don't have to practice meditation or ceremony. Okay, you know what? Not even redefine what it is. And I tell this to my clients all the time, actually, when it comes to meditation. If you get to a point where, let's say, like here's a couple of different examples. I have a friend who goes walking every morning, and walking is literally her meditation because she lets her mind wander. It's clear, whatever comes in, and she's just kind of in a nice meditative state, even though she's not sitting there chanting blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure I've said this a million times on the podcast anyway. And then I knew another lady who loved to wash dishes, and it relaxed her. Like hand wash.
You want to wash mine?
Yeah, no shit, right? But she would kind of, because she would go into like that meditative state, that nice relaxation, and mind, like your thoughts flow in, they flow out, and so it's not even, if you were to break it down, you probably already meditate several times in a day without realizing it. And as far as ceremony, you guys, anything can be a ceremony. Anything. Literally anything. Look at this water. I honor this water before I drink it, and I'm going to take a sip right now. There we go. And I thank it for nourishing my body and, giving me moisture.
Yeah. So when you say that, the thing that I think about is like being fucking mindful in the way that you do things. And I'm like, that to me seems like meditation. And that's a message that my spirit guides have given me a lot lately. They were like, there's no more, because I need to solve every mystery. And my sister gets really annoyed by this. She's just like, you don't have to like know the answer to everything right now or have everything solved right now. Not everything is a fucking crisis or a problem. You are a human living in a human experience, and it's fucking a nut show out there. It's not, you don't have to fix it right now, because I'm on this like fast track. I'm like, I don't want to feel shitty. I want to figure this out. And she's like, stop. Like, you're just a human. So like my spirit guides are like, honestly, there is no great mystery. If you were just mindful and present, you would literally solve all of your problems.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. You would know what you need to do. You wouldn't pressure yourself. You would be like mindful. And they've told me things like, you need to like give thanks to your food and your water, and you need to do this and you need to do that. And all of it just boils down to being like really mindful.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yes, most definitely.
So here's my little secret I'm going to share with you. My weight loss tip, because people keep asking me if I've lost weight.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, I notice when I'm on Zoom and stuff, I'm like, ooh, my face is skinnier.
You know what's so funny? That's how I first noticed I was losing weight too. I was like, I don't have a double chin anymore. I'm like, yeah.
I'm like,
on Zoom, for real.
So anyway, it was funny, but the only thing I changed, it didn't matter if it was junk food or whatever. I'm like, this is nourishing my body and making it the best that it needs to be.
Yeah, seriously.
That was it. And people keep asking me if I've lost weight.
Because you know what's crazy? Like, you said this before the podcast, and I knew it was going to come in. If you watch The Matrix, he's like, there is no spoon. Teaching to bend the spoon.
Oh my God, I did say that.
There is no good food or bad food. It carries the vibration that you put into it.
Exactly.
So a chip is no different than air, water. It's all nothing. It's all atoms constructed in a certain configuration, and then it is defined by the collective that this is good or bad. And if you eat it being like, oh fuck, I'm feeling real guilty about this, but I can't stop, they're so good, straight to my ass, as you wish.
Yeah,
as you fucking wish.
Yeah. So
that's something I actually started. I don't do it like as much. I just not like super conscious, but I am like, everything nourishes me. Nothing is nothing, But what I did for me, I stopped. What's the biggest thing I changed? And like, I have these pair of pants that I like couldn't fit in it was like literally a couple months ago. And this, I don't feel I look any different, but I fit those pants now. The only thing I did differently was I stopped fucking stressing myself out. And like, that is a roller coaster of a difference. I'm just like, you know what? It's okay if I sleep in. It's okay if I need to take this time to meditate or go walk. But I was like a walking ball of guilt. And then what I would do is I felt like I was always running out of time and I wasn't where I needed to be. So I would eat really, really quickly. I would eat very mindlessly. I wasn't eating bad, but I didn't like commune with my food. I didn't commune with water. I didn't do anything but feel guilty about everything I wasn't or wasn't doing. Was or wasn't doing.
We know what you're getting at.
And I just like fucking relaxed and started like taking care of myself in just whatever that meant. Oh, I need to sleep in. Oh, you feel like working out today? Oh, you want to go for a walk? Oh, you want to eat this bag of chips? Fucking do it. Like, I stopped giving everything a bad name. And it changed in a like
shot through the heart.
You always turn everything into a song. I love it.
Oh my god.
I just stopped.
Yeah.
And my body was instantly like, oh, okay. And it was like literally a couple months. I literally put that pair of pants on like a few months ago and I was like, Jesus fuck, these fit worse than ever.
Yeah.
Like they don't fit. And then I put them on the other day and I was like, whoa, sweet.
Yeah, I look at this dress even, I'm like, huh, my hips don't look that big anymore.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I just fucking calmed
Yeah, and I was
down.
on a group call last night, a Zoom group call. I'm like, I know I totally look weird right now, but I'm checking myself out because I look different. You know, like it was just straight up like, huh, weird.
So, yeah, it's so bizarre. So like I swear to, and then my guide stopped telling me to, I was doing all these like healing meditations and they told me to do those originally. They were like, you need to do these meditations, you need to release a bunch of shit. But then at a certain point, they said, okay, enough's enough, because when you constantly assume that you are unhealed and you haven't released anything, you're manifesting that.
Oh yeah.
I still have healing to do and I'm not right and I'm holding on to too much. So I wanted to release, but I was manifesting the want. So and then I changed the script and I was like, I am healed and I have released. And that's it. I'm healed. I've released. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's not like you said, I'm not healed forever, but like the things I was trying to release, I'm like, it's done. I'm sure I'll find new things real soon.
Oh,
but
yes,
like
guaranteed. You're human.
They were like, don't use the words like want or I will. It's like, I am right now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just keep pushing the manifestation into the future. You're manifesting, one day I will. One day I will be. It's coming. No, it is here.
Totally.
And honestly, it happened so quick for both of us. Just out of fucking nowhere. I think. I know. Yeah. So it doesn't take long.
No.
And don't manifest that it takes long either. Like,
no, absolutely not if it's something you want. Okay. Moving into myth number 9. Nah. You can't want money or success.
That it's greedy or bad.
Like, spiritual services should be free. Like, that's not true. That's first of all, nope.
No.
It's all about energy exchanges.
Yeah.
But did you ever see that meme? I posted it once. I gotta find it again. But it's like, there was the caption basically that spiritual services should be free, and then there's this dude pointing at his open empty fridge, and he was like,
yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Bitch. And when I first started my journey, I literally felt that, like, you know, everyone has a right to this information. Everybody should know it. I should be giving away for free. But you know what? I learned the fucking hard way. This is tried and true evidence. If people aren't energetically invested in something, they don't do anything with the information. No. They're just, it's like curious. Oh, this is cool. And then they don't even like believe it. Because they're like, oh, if it was true, it would have been like more money.
It would have been like $200.
Yeah. And then sometimes when it was really cheap, people would just not show up for their meetings and stuff. And I was just like, what the fuck? So if you ever wondered why someone charges, you have all the people that take advantage of free services and abuse it to no other. But there's to thank for that.
Well, and there's also just straight up energy.
Yeah. You can't, like, it's bad karma, right? Like if I put, especially at the beginning when I was charging a really cheap rate, like I wasn't really as proficient at the records as I was. So I was putting like 4 or 5 hours of my life into that one reading. And then it's like I poured that energy in. And if I don't get anything in return, we'll become sick.
Yeah.
You give, and then you're empty. And somebody else is like, getting that energy and they weren't invested in it to receive. So it's literally just a wasted energy.
Yes.
So even in equal exchanges are everything.
Absolutely.
And money is only energy. And like, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So if we got to this point where money wasn't a thing that fed us anymore, and let's say it was all just taking care of itself, well, I would have to think of a new thing that felt even and equal to me. Maybe it would be like, oh, you have a condo in Mexico? Well, I'll stay there for a couple of weeks and you get this much service or whatever. Like, or, you know, you have like a garden and I really love fresh veggies. It's like, okay, well, I'll make that trade. Or you have a service, let's switch. Like even and equal is everything. So some people maybe do give things away for free, but it's because they don't have use for money.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I and Randy still live in a world where we unfortunately have bills and like food costs money. So it's just like, yeah, it's even and equal exchanges. And like, I think both her and I, and probably a lot of you out there, have learned the hard way that giving away things for dirt cheap and free
isn't an answer.
No, it doesn't really help anyone.
No, and it drains you.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then it turns like what you're doing to like serve the collective into a soul-sucking chore. Well, it's true.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does. If it drains you, and then it's a vicious cycle. Because if you're drained, you're not giving 100%. If you're not giving 100%, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So it's kind of this weird cycle of energetic bullshit.
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah.
And that like wanting success is like an ego thing or
that
whatever.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And no, why is that not bettering yourself?
Exactly.
So if you guys missed our podcast about serving yourself is the way to serve the collective, go back and listen to that. Because this is exactly what it's about.
Exactly. And like, I think I said this in that episode, but it's like, I want a life of like freedom and ease. Like I want to be able to just be like, I want to go here. I want to do this. I don't want to have to like book time off work or check my bank account. I just want to like be free.
Yes.
So if I then become like a slave to the work that I've created or the life that I've created, but I'm telling you that you should free yourself, how does that make sense? Like we do have to kind of walk the talk to some degree.
Oh yeah, totally. Or as I said a million times in this episode already, 100%. 100%.
All right. So spiritual myth number 10.
Oh,
this one is the one that we were like, oh, people are going to hate us.
But we've already did a podcast on this. So if you want our full like hours long worth of opinions on it, I think it might have even been over an hour.
Yeah. I know. That was an old one. I forget what we even called it.
I don't know. Anyway, we're talking about myth number 10 is twin flames.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, seriously, we have like over an hour's worth of, it's something or other. Twin flame is in the title. Go back and listen to it. But
yeah,
like if you're not with your twin flame, then what's the point of life? And all relationships are shit. That's bullshit. Yeah. Like who wants to be with their twin flame? Who wants to be with another version of themselves? Seriously. I mean, how narcissistic. And B, like, there's days where I can't stand myself on the best of days. Can you imagine being partnered with that?
Oh my God. And like, I hate that the notion comes with like, you're not whole without this other person and you can't be happy or feel love without it. And like,
you'll never hit, again, we're talking about that. You'll know when you get there. No, you're never going to hit that level unless you're with your flame. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. And it's like a huge wound. Like if you actually believe that you can't be fulfilled or whole or complete without somebody else, I'm telling you right now, that's probably your fucking tragic karmic wound. And guess the only way you're going to heal that is by learning to be your own soulmate.
Exactly.
And like that's actually going to be the lesson for you. So yeah, go back and listen to the episode because I do believe that we can run into people from our past lives and like there's that huge connection because we've shared a life or to lifetimes together. But like, we are free. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like you can't ever lose what you had. This is just a simulation. This is just in one life out of 1 million. And some people have this like really, I I don't know what the word is. I know there's a word for it, but like melancholy almost about being alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everything's so serious and complete and everything's a tragedy.
And
like,
why is life so hard?
I'm like looking into the past. Oh, it was so easy then. And it's like, no, that is something that you'll need to like work through. And again, if you think the answers lie in others, you're wrong. And like, it's crazy with karma and relationships. The people who kind of are like habitually single, they're really good at being their own soulmate, they're really good at rising up for themselves, usually they're going to be called upon in this lifetime to like learn how to be with another soul and like learn how to like they'll learn about relationships and self-love through a relationship because they overdid the fierce independent.
Right.
And then I meet people who have like that open heart wound and are like, oh my God, I can't find a soulmate. It's so hard. And they like want to be with someone. They're really struggling. Well, they're often then alone quite a lot because the universe is calling you to realize you don't need somebody else to be happy. And this is an observation. I've only learned that from seeing it a million times. So I would be careful if you're someone who's in the twin flame, you know, camp and like, oh, my twin flame's out there, I'm finally going to be complete, because you probably have some unfortunate karma to go through. And if you don't really like being alone and you want that connection with another soul, you're probably not going to find it until you let that concept go.
Totally.
It'll always evade you. You'll have brief glimpses of it, it'll fall away, or you'll get into a relationship, it'll be beautiful for a couple of months, and then it will completely fall apart. And like everyone has kind of a honeymoon phase, you know, in a relationship. Yeah. This doesn't mean, you know, everybody experiences that, but yeah, check yourself with that one, because it's going to be a shitty road if you hold on to that belief for a long time.
Yeah. You complete you.
Yeah. And that is the lesson. That is the lesson for a lot of us. And like, you'd see that all the time. Like, you know, like if you don't love yourself, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know.
You know what's funny is I saw this meme today, and it was like this little cartoon, and it was split into two half screens, and the top half was movie love, and it's like raining, and the sky is looking into this girl face. It's like, it's always been you. And then it was like real life love, and it's this guy who's got his pants dropped, and the other one, well, it doesn't look as swollen as it did yesterday.
So true.
So true. Because so it's so mundane.
So
it's
true.
So mundane.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. You are everything, right? So we have to like really acknowledge that within ourselves. And then once you figure that out, I feel like then you really come together with the person that you like share that with.
Well, I feel the person you're with is there to complement you. They're not there to complete you.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Graham and I are like polar opposites in a lot of ways. So we like teach each other like the hard things, but also uplift each other in our weaknesses. Like, do you know what I mean? Totally. With lots of compromise.
Well, yeah. And your partner is meant to teach you lessons, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and like, what the fuck are you going to learn from a carbon copy of you? Just saying.
Yeah.
Nothing, because you guys both have the same fucking stances.
And you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a waste of your, like, I mean, let's be honest, you're going to come back if that's the case, because you're not going to get anything done.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Anyway, go check out our full episode on that particular topic.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Twin Flame is in the title, but like, I can't remember what the hell it was.
It is. I just can't remember what all it is.
Yeah, me neither. But anyway, those were our myths for the day.
That was us busting 10 spiritual myths.
Because I do feel it's getting like, I don't want to say more confusing, but it's just like there's so many people chirping at us about spirituality, and it's like...
And there's been a lot of this, you know, if you don't do it this way, it's wrong out there.
And then, I don't know, like...
And that's confusing, especially when you're first, you know, awakening, because more and more people are awakening every day, and then it's kind of confusing, and oh my God, and no, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
I know. And like, I don't know, maybe this is an ego thing, but I just get so triggered when people are like in the spiritual world and then they still need the like, my words are just a hot mess. They still feel the need to like create a divide And it's like, we're all fucking unique and we're all at a different level in our healing or awareness process. And then it's like, I just see it like so much lately, like, oh, this is a toxic trait or toxic positivity or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's not serving humanity? Fucking labeling shit. We have a whole episode on that, and like deeming everything as good, bad, or acceptable. And then the division between people, the spiritual awakening communities coming together, and then there's like a rift caused in that like place. Stop fighting one another.
I think the whole point is like remembering that we're all literally connected.
Yeah.
So unity should be the most, what's the right word? Like common thing. Like it should be the easiest thing because we're all connected. Unity should just be a no fucking brainer.
And like what you see in your clients or your, you know, connections is usually like a mirror. It's usually something being mirrored back to you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, like why does that bother you? So even I think about this one particular thing I keep seeing on Instagram, and I'm like, why does this bother me so much? This person just like grinds my gears. But they just like continue to perpetuate like division and like definitely like who's better. And I'm like, fuck, that drives me insane.
Yeah. There's no such thing.
No.
There's no such thing. So remember that, kiddos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we tried to keep it light, but we got kind of like into our opinions there every now and again.
Which again, just so you guys know, these are just our opinions on what a spiritual myth is.
Yes.
And if you're someone who has a different perspective, that's okay. We are not going to cause a divide with you.
No.
This is more just a guide when you feel like there's suddenly this pressure to perform a certain way in spirituality, because there isn't.
And how many, like, I want to know, which one of these did you like get tripped up by? Like, which you were like, oh yeah, fuck, I totally believed that for a while.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Let us know, because I'm sure we've all at some point had most of these.
Yeah, mine is definitely number 9. You can't want money and success. That's greedy.
Yeah.
That's my big one.
Totally. That's a big one. And mine is number 4. Acting and looking a certain way.
Oh, yes.
It's like, if you don't look like this, people won't take you seriously.
Oh my God, you know what's so funny? That kind of like both directly relates to our shadow.
I know. It's so funny. Oh, but it's all good though. Anyway, yeah, let us know which ones tripped you up, if any. And if not, good on you. Bravo. And thanks so much for listening, you guys. Join us on Patreon. We're growing a lot over there and we're having some fun. Yeah, let us know if there's any like October spooky spiritual topics or stories that you want us to dive into, because we're going to be doing that here right away. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.